What if there is something shaping each and every decision you make, every feeling you experience, and every thought that crosses your mind? Something invisible yet so powerful that lies deep inside you in the unconscious realm, like a force you just can't seem to comprehend. You might think you're in control, but according to world-renowned psychologist Carl Jung, there's something greater at play. Universal patterns embedded in all of us, influencing our behaviors, desires, and even our destiny. These are the archetypes, ancient symbols that govern our lives in ways we barely realize. They offer us a profound way to view and understand ourselves and the world around us. Today, we'll dive deep into Jung's groundbreaking theory, revealing how these mysterious forces dictate our thoughts and actions without us even knowing. But the most powerful revelation comes at the end, an insight so profound it might just change the way you see yourself and the world forever. According to Carl Jung, our mind is divided into two realms, all found within ourselves. The conscious realm, which we consciously utilize, and the unconscious realm, which is a mixture of our dark secrets and truths. He believed that unlike what we are conditioned to believe, our unconscious forces are what drives much of our behaviors rather than our conscious thoughts. This belief stood against what his mentor Sigmund Freud emphasized. Unlike Jung, Freud saw the unconscious as a reservoir filled with repressed childhood traumas and repressed desires. Based on this, Jung was able to come up with the idea of the collective unconscious, a universal layer of the unconscious mind that connects all humans through archetypal patterns and symbols. He argued that these archetypes are not just myths or symbols we see in dreams. They are deeply placed on the psyche with the ability to influence our choices and shape our perceptions about ourselves and the world at large. Jung believed that these archetypes manifest in our dreams and our daily lives, acting as a guide, helping us to navigate the struggles of life. But there is a twist. These same archetypes can also act as psychological traps that keep us locked in an endless cycle of unconscious behavior. He therefore proposed his idea of individuation, the process of becoming whole, as the key to breaking free from these endless cycles. Through the process of awareness, we become aware of the archetypes manifesting in us, which we can begin to break free from their control and instead harness their power and put it towards something greater. Becoming self-aware can only be achieved through the journey of self-discovery, where you will find the tools you need to unlock your true potential. Take yourself, for instance. Have you ever experienced a situation where you felt motivated to succeed against all odds? That's the hero archetype taking over your conscious mind. But to truly understand these archetypes and what they stand for, we must explore them in depth. Let's start with the hero archetype. Hero archetype. This archetype embodies the part of us that strives for continuous growth and achievement, often by overcoming immense obstacles. Although the journey of growth is universal, it is often covered with immense challenges. That's where the hero archetype takes over, by convincing us to keep pushing and not give up. It represents the qualities of bravery, self-sacrifice, and the constant pursuit of the greater good. This archetype signifies the universal patterns of human experience that transcend cultural and temporal boundaries. The hero reflects the internal processes of confronting fears, overcoming obstacles, and evolving beyond the limitations set by our unconscious. While the journey is universal, its expression varies across cultures, reflecting diverse societal values and historical contexts. In Greek mythology, for instance, Hercules embodies physical strength and endurance. When it comes to Eastern heroes like the Monkey King from the Chinese epic Journey to the West, it represents cunning and spiritual growth. But what happens when the motivation becomes overbearing and the zeal to achieve that thing leads us to other aspects of life? This is where the shadow archetype breaks in. Shadow archetype. According to Carl Jung, the shadow archetype represents the darker hidden parts of ourselves, qualities we strive so hard to reject and bury deep in our unconscious. Facing the shadow is not an easy task, but one necessary to achieve individuation. We all have those aspects of ourselves we find difficult to confront. It can be a desire or a recurring fear. Jung explained that these parts we reject don't just disappear. Instead, they manifest and become part of our shadow, which influences our conscious actions in powerful but subtle ways. Jung suggests that the shadow can manifest and appear in our dreams or visions, and may take a variety of forms, including a snake, a monster, or other exotic figures. The only way to achieve individuation and become whole is by embracing and integrating these parts of ourselves. The shadow archetype manifests in our daily lives by often appearing in our relationships. Have you ever found someone to be annoying due to their behavior? When that happens, it is a reflection of a quality you dislike or a fear you are hiding in yourself. The shadow usually manifests by embodying this fear in the form of projection. When we reject parts of ourselves, we often see them mirrored in others around us. Jung encourages us to embrace and reclaim these projections by asking ourselves why we are reacting this way when someone does something that makes us react strongly. But the hero and the shadow are just two of many archetypes that shape our lives. Another prominent archetype, according to Carl Jung, is the persona. The persona. The persona archetype represents masks that we wear to navigate through society, the version of ourselves we choose to let society see. It acts to shield the ego from negative images and allows us to adapt to social expectations by forming a bridge between our inner self and the external environment. It is the persona that manifests in our daily lives, making us act differently by changing our behavior while at work and when we are with our close friends or family. The persona is a useful tool that can help us navigate society, but it also becomes problematic when we overuse it. When we rely excessively on our persona, we risk losing touch with who we truly are. Jung therefore emphasized on the importance of balance. The persona is not all negative, but when we allow it to take over completely, it disconnects us from our true self, which can lead to feelings of emptiness, as though the life we are living is not ours. While this archetype serves a practical purpose, it can become a poison if we mistake it for who we truly are. Consider the roles you play in your life, from parent to leader to friend. Are all these roles aligned with your true values and desires? Or do they feel like they are being forced upon you by external expectations? According to Jung, to truly achieve individuation, we need to peel back the layers of the persona to uncover who we truly are. It requires honesty and courage, and it may lead to letting go of certain relationships or roles that no longer serve you. Another key archetype in Jung's work is the Anima and Animus. The Anima and Animus archetype. According to Carl Jung, the Anima and Animus represent the masculine and feminine energies within us. The Animus is the masculine aspect found within the female psyche related to logical thinking, problem-solving, and emotional stability, while the Anima is the feminine aspect found within the male psyche, which is characterized by empathy, trust, intuition, and how we emotionally connect with others. Jung believed that embracing these archetypes is essential for us to achieve psychological balance and personal growth. Integrating both the Animus and Anima aspects of our personality into an authentic, unified whole is a healthy part of our development. A person who can achieve good balance by relying on both emotion and reason, logic and intuition, cooperation and competition. The integration of these archetypes will help us become whole and allow us to transcend beyond societal expectations. Not just that, it will help us in our journey towards achieving individuation, also called the unified couple. These archetypes play a significant role in relationships, especially romantic ones. Jung made an observation that we often project these inner figures onto our partners, expecting them to fulfill the needs that result from within us. This can lead to disappointment if we fail to recognize that those qualities we seek in our partners already exist within us. For instance, if you are drawn to someone's assertiveness, it could be your archetype encouraging you to develop greater confidence. By becoming aware of these occurrences, you can move from unconscious projection to conscious appreciation. But this doesn't mean suppressing your feelings and burying them deep down. Rather, it means deepening your understanding of them and embracing them. At the heart of the individuation journey lies the self-archetype. The self-archetype. This archetype represents unity and wholeness. It is the ultimate goal of psychological development and the sign of unification between our conscious and unconscious minds. Jung believed that disharmony between the conscious and the unconscious mind could lead to psychological problems. Therefore, bringing these conflicts into awareness and accommodating them is an essential part of the individuation process. All other archetypes revolve around the self, making it both the destination and journey itself. It is a lifelong process that can only be achieved through self-discovery and growth. The self-archetype invites us to live authentically and harmoniously. But this doesn't mean achieving perfection, because there is no such thing. Jung was also clear that achieving wholeness is not about completely erasing flaws or weaknesses. Rather, it is about embracing them to make up a whole. Your consciousness and unconsciousness are all part of what makes you whole. Although the journey to the self is deeply personal, it also connects us to something greater and more profound than ourselves. The path to achieving individuation is not an easy one. It requires us to face and embrace our hard truths. Consider your life, for instance. Have you ever experienced moments that forced you to take a break and deeply reflect on who you truly are and where is your destination? It may be a painful moment, but it is also what you need for your journey. To easily navigate this journey, Jung suggested dream analysis. He believed that dreams are a direct window connecting us with our unconscious. They often portray archetypal symbols containing clues or hidden messages about our other selves, the ones we have tried so hard to bury in the unconscious. He therefore advised us to pay attention to the emotions and symbols that continuously appear in our dreams, as they often unravel truths that our conscious mind struggles to clearly express. By analyzing these symbols, we can gain a deeper insight into our inner selves and the archetypes ingrained in our psyche. But here is the twist. Jung also believed that the journey doesn't end at the level of achieving individuation. He explained that the collective unconscious, where the archetypes are based, connects us all. It's the reason why mythical stories and legends from different corners of life share striking similarities. This interconnection suggests that the journey of individuation is universal. We contribute to a deeper understanding of humanity as a whole when we strive to understand ourselves. Jung believed that accepting that we are part of something bigger, a larger story, can help us find meaning and purpose. It points out that the struggles we face are not isolated. They are part of something greater, shared by all of humankind. Now that we have understood some of these archetypes and how they work, let's explore the practical steps to work with and integrate them into our daily lives. We will discover profound tools that will help us bring unconscious patterns into the light. But before we continue, it is important to understand that recognizing and working with these archetypes involves actively engaging with your inner world, digging out hidden truths, and integrating them into your conscious life. Journaling. One of the most accessible practical steps to begin this work is through journaling, recording or writing down your dreams, reflections, and thoughts as soon as they happen. Journaling helps you create space for interaction with your unconscious mind. When journaling, take note of these key prompts to help you fully explore and understand your archetypes. Take note of the recurring symbols that appear in your dreams. What are the other aspects of yourself you find attractive in others? What are the fears or harsh truths you keep running away from? Which ancient mythical legends resonate deeply with you? These prompts are not just about smoothing your introspection process. They are also about opening a window into your unconscious mind to allow for the archetypes to reveal themselves. Another practical step you can do, according to Carl Jung, is visualization. Visualization. Imagine yourself stepping into a place that holds deeper meaning beyond its physical form, like a temple, and interacting with the archetypal figures that emerge. Figure out what they look like and what messages they offer you. More often than not, Jung emphasized the importance of actively engaging with archetypes that arise from our inner world in what he called active imagination. Active imagination. This practice involves entering a meditative state and initiating a dialogue with these archetypal figures. For instance, if you encounter the shadow archetype, you might ask it questions like, "What message are you trying to send to me? Why are you here?" By obtaining the answers to these questions, we can transform abstract ideas into vivid personal experiences. By accepting and integrating our archetypes, we not only transform our inner world, but we also contribute to the collective growth of mankind. Let's take a moment to reflect and ask yourself these questions. What steps can you employ to make your unconscious conscious? Can you identify an archetype or a recurring symbol that has significantly shaped your journey? As we reach the end of this profound journey, we will be unraveling the secrets of how embracing the self leads to profound transformation. The last revelation is the most powerful of all. It offers a perspective that could help reshape the way we view ourselves in the world. But to truly embrace the self, we must revisit the concept of individuation, the lifelong journey that is not easy but essential to achieving a whole. It is a process filled with challenges and self-discovery, but the rewards are extraordinary, including a deeper sense of understanding of who we truly are and a life we can live that aligns with our true nature. A key misconception that needs to be addressed is how many people think that integrating the unconscious means completely getting rid of our flaws and fixing our dark sides. Carl Jung had a different view. He believed that the process of integrating the unconscious is a journey towards wholeness and not perfection. It is a journey towards embracing both your light and your dark sides without changing them. To be whole is to embrace every single part of ourselves, the strengths and the weaknesses, the beauty and the imperfections. To effectively describe this process of individuation, Jung used a powerful symbol called the mandala. In many ancient spiritual traditions, the mandala represents the circular pattern involving the cosmos, unity, and balance. While interacting with his patients, he observed that they often created mandalas in their dreams or art. These circular patterns symbolize the self, which is the harmonious integration of all aspects of the psyche, which can only be achieved through individuation. Take a moment and visualize your mandala, and what symbols, colors, shapes, or images might it contain. These components are what represent your unique journey towards achieving individuation. But this raises an important question. How do we actively strive toward individuation in our daily lives? Self-awareness. We start by becoming aware, becoming conscious of the unconscious forces that shape our thoughts, behavior, and emotions. We start by paying attention to recurring patterns and themes in our lives, observing ourselves with curiosity and compassion, and being judgment-free while doing it. Ask yourself this: are there instances or relationships where you constantly feel conflicted or stuck? These recurring patterns often indicate the unresolved aspects of the unconscious you need to deal with. For instance, if you find yourself frequently in conflict with how other people behave, it might indicate a struggle with your inner shadow archetype. dreams examination. The next step after awareness is to examine your dreams. Dreams are one of the surest and clearest windows that connect to the unconscious. They often feature archetypes and other symbols that can provide valuable insights into your inner world. Jung suggests always keeping a dream journal by your bedside to jot down any dreams you remember as soon as you are awake, no matter how fragmented or meaningless they seem. Over time, you may start to notice consistent patterns or recurring symbols that reveal important truths about yourself. Jung believed that effective transformation begins with acceptance. To successfully integrate the unconscious, we must start by facing and embracing our shadow, that part of ourselves that holds our dark truths, which we may not necessarily like. This is not an easy thing to do, but by facing these hidden aspects of us, we uncover immense potential for our growth and healing journey aimed toward achieving our true potential. Think about this. We all have those parts of ourselves that we hide from others, those parts we consider negative. But what would it look like if we decide to accept those parts, to see them not as being negative or flaws, but as integral pieces that make up who we truly are? But individuation cannot be truly achieved without balance. The archetypes that strive within us seem to often exist in opposite pairs, such as the Anima and the Animus, the hero and the shadow. These pairings reflect the natural tension that lies within the psyche. Jung believed that true growth can only be achieved by embracing the tension caused by these pairings, rather than trying to resolve it prematurely. For instance, when we consider the hero and the shadow archetypes, the hero archetype drives us to strive and overcome obstacles, while the shadow limits our abilities by reminding us of our vulnerabilities. Both are essential, and holding a space for both. Without letting one overshadow the other, we create a dynamic balance that allows us to grow without losing ourselves. This balance also applies to the relationship between the conscious and the unconscious mind. Jung viewed the conscious as a small boat navigating its surface, and the unconscious as a vast ocean. The objective is not to conquer the ocean, but to learn how to peacefully and safely sail in it. A way to achieve this is through creative expression, music, art, books, and other forms of creativity that allow us to tap into the unconscious realm and bring its insights into the conscious. The value of these activities lies in the process rather than the product. For instance, you might try painting without a specific goal mind, which allows your intuition to guide you, or you could write something down by allowing your thoughts to flow freely onto the paper without censorship. These practices can unravel surprising insights that can help you connect with the deeper layers of your psyche. As we come towards the end of this journey, it is important to remember that individuation is not the destination itself. It is a way of being, a continuous process. It is about embracing the contradictions within us and recognizing that they are not obstacles in any way, but are opportunities for growth. We need to understand that the unconscious is not something to be avoided or feared. It is a source of immense wisdom and strength. By becoming conscious of the unconscious, we not only transform into our true selves, but we also contribute to the collective evolution of mankind as a whole. So here is the final question. Are you willing to listen to your archetypes, honor their lessons, and integrate their wisdom into your life as a path to achieving wholeness? The path is not an easy one, but it also carries immense rewards. It gives us the opportunity to live our lives with greater authenticity and purpose by becoming whole and connecting to others and to the world around us. Perhaps this is a calling by your unconscious to take the first step towards the journey of integration and wholeness. Are you willing and ready to answer the call? Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.